What do you think about Keffe D's current situation now? Well, first of all, what did you hear when he first started going public? Did you hear about it? Because his first public interview was on BET in 2018, like February of 2018. They aired his first public interview where he talked about openly about Tupac's murder. And
I don't know what got into him. Dude, you got away with murder. Go away and be an old man and be happy. You know, I can go back and rock my grandkids on my knee and say, thank God I'm not in that shit no more. But I don't know why he had moved to Vegas and seemed like he could have had a good life up there. I don't know why he wanted to come back to Compton with that shit. Excuse my language, but cut it and just let it go. But he didn't. And he brought that on himself. Why, I don't know, because it sounded like he downed himself out. And the whole thing is, we all know, and he knows too, the shooter's dead. Now what?
Right.
And the shooter was dead probably 6 months after. I don't know, Alana didn't live too much longer.
It was like 18 months later, 19 months later, yeah.
He wasn't around much longer.
Nope.
So your window of opportunity was pretty short and narrow. And we gave you that window, but you walked away from it. And that was the thing. You know, you either get this guy now or he probably ain't gonna be around longer. But they didn't understand what you're saying.
Right.
You know, and it was almost like it's sad to say. And Eddie and I used to ride around. I used to tell people all the time, he looked like a dead man. And Eddie said, why you tell him that? I don't know, but he looked like a dead man. I don't know if I can see that, but he looked like death was with him. And Orlando started to look like a dead man after a while. It looked like death was right on his shoulder. Because I don't know if a lot of people believe in God and Satan and all that shit, but sooner or later it's coming back on you. And it's only, and when Satan gets you caught in his trap, oh well. So, you know, and that's why I would say people, you look like a dead man. You know, you can only do so much dirt.
After Tupac's murder, Orlando told one of his lawyers, you know, I don't think I'm going to have a very long life. So he must have felt that.
He probably felt it too. His turning point was probably the thing with Tupac. Either go this direction or go that direction. But he chose back down the road that he came from. And that's what happened.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen with Keefe now? His trial now he keeps getting delayed. He keeps changing lawyers. He's got another new lawyer now. He just changed again a few weeks ago. His current trial date is set for August. And his new lawyers said they're not going to get a delay. He's ready to let's go. He's kind of cocky about it. But you got a guy that's publicly spoken about his alleged role in this murder 9-10 times at least now, if you include his book and all the YouTube interviews and BET and like.
I think with the book he wrote, the things he said about himself, and I don't want to go into their investigation of what we got from him, but because it's still active with them.
Sure.
With what we gave them, I think they can get a conviction out of it. Even with him not being a shooter.
Right.
I don't think it mattered because he was there. And now he's putting himself there. You know, what an idiot. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, how do you walk that back?
Yeah, what an idiot.
And say, oh, I was just making it up, and put I wouldn't gamble my future on convincing a court that.
Me personally, I would have been with my wife, my kids, my grandkids, and or maybe preaching from some pulpit somewhere, you know, because this is what I got with kids. Don't go down this road, because I can tell you personally, don't go down that road, because I got away with murder pretty much, you know. So, and it's sad to say because at his age, you think he would have known better, especially coming from where he came from.
Right.
But it seemed like he never stopped. You know, and I thought he would have changed directions with his nephew, which was more like a brother to him, getting killed. I thought that would have been like a time to change, but he didn't.
Yeah. But
my mom's always said that was a bad wind that never changed direction. So I don't know.
It's kind of like he wanted the clout, but not the consequences.
But there's always consequences. If you want this part, you got to get the other part too. And unfortunately, you got some young guys in Vegas that's going to make a name for themselves.
Yep.
Off some shit that happened 30 years ago. of a homicide that was solved pretty much the same week it happened. They picked up a book. What the fuck I got here? Excuse my language. Look what I got here. I got a solved homicide. It's a cold case that was solved. Let me go solve it again. And the idiot that lived here, that was involved, lives here in our city now and won't shut the hell up.
Yep.
Beats me why he was talking.
When Biggie was killed, do you remember that? And did that touch you guys at all in any way? Do you remember?
Not so much.
It was LAPD's case, obviously. It was Wilshire Division, and then later on RHD's case. But
I remember it happening. I remember it being the suspect being a clean-cut black guy in a Chevrolet Impala.
Mm-hmm.
And ding dong, Keffe D. That's what we thought, because he was a clean-cut black guy with a Chevy Impala. But that never went any place.
And also, they found his Impala in the backyard of his girlfriend's house under a tarp, which also caused even more
Suspicion.
Why are you hiding this car?
Right.
This nice new car. Why is it not a normal thing to do?
I remember that. We did a search warrant for that house for that car.
Do you remember? Were you there for that?
Yeah, I remember that.
What do you remember about that?
Not very much, because it went no place.
Yeah.
It went no place. And the word on the street was Southside was supposedly providing security for Biggie.
Yeah.
So why would Keefe D do that if they're providing security for him?
You know, he said the day I met Puffy, my life started going downhill from that day.
He should have kept his low profile mentality and stayed out of that bullshit.